morning, Brother Thom. Listen, unrelated to what I'm going to talk about, is Louis DeJoy still the Postmaster General? And if not...
He is. He is. And the 10 or 12 or 14 people who are on the Postal Board of Governors who made him the Postmaster General who are all Trump appointees. I believe that there's 4 Democrats and 8 Republicans. That would be, 12 altogether? I could be wrong, but that's, from memory. They're all still there, too. And several people, including a couple of members of Congress, have called for the Biden administration to fire all of them. They have some sort of civil service protection, plus the post office is a semi-autonomous corporation. It's a federally chartered corporation, so it operates differently than just a regular government agency. So Biden can't just go in and say, you're fired. But what he can do is he can fire them for cause. If he can demonstrate that they have done something wrong, something demonstrably not part of their job, something that they've screwed up terribly. And I think, frankly, they have. I mean, they destroyed over 600 high-speed sorting machines. They kneecapped the post office when it was desperately needed during a pandemic, a holiday, and a voting season. They apparently did it with 2 primary motivations. They wanted to help Donald Trump get elected by making it harder to vote by mail, and they wanted to set the post office up for privatization so that it could be deunionized, and somebody at FedEx can make a fortune off it instead of the American people having to service. So forgive my rant, Cliff, but anyhow, back to you.
No, I appreciate the info. Hey, I was reading an article recently about the nutritional content in our soil, or lack thereof.
Yeah, it's less than half of what it was in 1960.
Yeah,
in the United States.
It takes 8 oranges to get the nutritional value of 1 orange from 30 years ago, or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen stats like that. That's why people buy organic.
Yeah, well, I eat organic, but a lot of people can't, and they don't even have the option. But
I understand.
It's just our soil's so nutritionally depleted. Is there anything that we can do about that in a large scale? And also, let me mention that, the nominee for Agriculture Secretary, Thom Vilsack, I don't think is a good choice, Tom. I actually talked to Bernie years ago when Vilsack was the Agriculture Secretary for President Obama. He's a corporate industrial farm guy, but we need more organic farms and smaller family farms, not a corporate cheerleader for this disastrous, food system we have.
I completely agree with you, Cliff. And, Vilsack has, long been in the bag for, Monsanto, the big ag companies, Cargill, those guys. And his career before, when he was in Congress was to a large extent funded by them, or to an extent. And I also would like to see somebody who is more concerned about small scale family farms. Let's return the family farms. When Reagan stopped enforcing the Sherman Act in the 80s, these big ag companies came in, drove down commodity prices, wiped out family farmers, bought their farms, turned them into tenant farmers. I lived in Michigan at the time. I remember it well. I remember, Willie Nelson and Farm Aid and all that stuff. We need to reverse all that, and Thom Vilsack is not the guy to do it. I agree with you. I'm not going to turn it into a crusade because I'm at this point trying to cut the Biden administration as much slack as possible. They're doing a lot of great stuff in a lot of great directions. But if there is any controversy around Vilsack, I would love to see somebody else in that job. That said, he knows where the levers of power are. So maybe he'll have a conversion. Cliff, thanks for the call.